I'd like to kind of first of all start talking about Tony, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, tell me, how did you describe when you kind of got together?
Well, it was quite funny, really, because he was going out with my best friend, and she introduced me to him, and I didn't like him at all. He was ginger, and I didn't want to go out with a guy with red hair. We actually they set me up with his friend, and we used to double date for a while. And then one day, my husband, or Tony, said to me then, I don't want to go out with her anymore. I want to go out with you. Will you break off with her for me? So I should have known then, all those years ago, what he was like. I wasn't really that interested. But once he's 7 years older than me. He was a gymnast. He looked great. And I just was hooked, I guess.
Take me back to the time where Tony kind of first got sick.
Well, he's never... Okay, we had moved out of our family home into a smaller property, which we didn't like. And after, I think, 7 years in that smaller property, we decided to go and live in Spain. We already had a beautiful apartment there on the beach, which we bought as a holiday home. And we just decided, let's go and live out there. But I had been in hospital having a hysterectomy, and I went out there to recover. And I think we'd been there a few days. We were about to leave to go home to England, and he was in the shower, and I just heard a massive bang, and I didn't know what it was. He suffered a brain aneurysm,
Okay.
which I didn't know. I didn't even know what aneurysm was. Thank God he survived. He's a miracle. He really is, Tony, because most people don't survive aneurysms, and if they do, then they survive them with all sorts of disabilities. But the one thing that they said to me after his surgery was, he will have difficulty taking on new information and processing it.
Okay.
And making decisions on it. Well, I didn't think that was important. But what happened was he wasn't able to continue working because he couldn't make decisions and he couldn't take on the information. So I naturally took over. The problem with the taking on information and processing it has been a slow journey for me, a very slow journey. So I've got used to it over the years, and I've taken over more and more decisions and responsibility naturally. And if I want to be honest, I quite enjoy it. I don't have a problem with it. Another person may feel differently. So that was great. I've got two amazing children who've always been there for me. My daughter's very efficient, and I've adapted.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. I've adapted to a different way of life. I don't regret one thing, and I'm just grateful that he's still here.
Yeah.
Because, especially now at my age, I'm seeing a lot more of what can happen to people.
Sure.
And there was no way that we could have stopped it.
Where is Tony at now?
Okay, so Tony, in the last probably 4 or 5 years, I've watched him decline more. And he's quite a happy man, but he just doesn't have concentration at all with anything. He can be sitting and watching television and not know what he's watching. And where we used to live in Spain was so beautiful. We were literally on the sea. And he used to sit out on the terrace with me. We used to love all of that. Well, suddenly I was finding he was sitting inside all day. He wasn't really motivated to do anything. And 2 years ago, I think it was, I decided to come back with him. And I was very lucky or very grateful that my daughter, who is a single mum with 2 teenage children, had enough space on the side of her house. And I developed an apartment for us both because she wanted it too. She wanted to be near us, and she wanted to be near her dad because she knows what her mum's like. And I love to be going all over the place and also to visit my family in America. My son is over there. So we made an arrangement between us, and I brought him back. Now, my first thing was to get him properly diagnosed because I knew that he had something, either dementia, Alzheimer's, something that was coming or was there already. The problem with Tony is because he had the surgery on his brain and he had the aneurysm clipped, he can't have an MRI because of the movement of the MRI, because it could dislodge the clip. So I went to see a professor at Queen Square who analysed him by tests and all the other things that they do. And based on that, he said he is suffering from a mixture of vascular cognitive decline, which is what was be expected from what he had,
Right.
and a slow form of Alzheimer's. I'm not convinced that he has Alzheimer's. I see a lot of people with Alzheimer's, and he's still very self-sufficient. He showers himself, he dresses himself, he does everything. He's basically a lazy man anyway, always was. I always used to wait on him hand and foot. My kids used to go mad at me. So I'm just continuing to do that. And I can travel to see my son and my sister in Florida, which is really important for me. Over the last few years, we've all gone as a family. But, even if I can just go.
So Tony's come with you?
Tony's come with me. But I think now it's going to be hard because it's a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually we all went on a cruise in the summer because it was my daughter Katie's 50th this year, and that was our treat. And he did enjoy it very much. He doesn't remember it.
Right. How does that make you feel, though? Does it make you feel sad?
It does. It makes me feel sad. But I've learned by listening to people that have got this dementia, Alzheimer's, never force them to try and remember. Never say, oh, but you do remember. Don't you remember we went to da-da-da? Doesn't work. And also, if anything, it can frustrate them more. Doesn't with Tony. He doesn't care. If he doesn't remember, he doesn't remember. And also people's names and, close friends. He'll go, who is that? So then I go into Facebook and I find a picture of them, and then he's okay with it because he can see the picture. But there's lots of things he forgets, because I worked with him for so many years and we were a partnership, and I can't go back to him and say, what do you think about this? I've got this, and this. And also I can't go out for dinner with him and have a conversation. Upsets me. It does upset me.
I guess it instills a bit of loneliness there in terms of you haven't got your partner in crime there anymore.
Exactly, it does. But you know what? I'm grateful that it's not worse.
Yeah.
That's how I look at life. It could be a lot worse. When we go out with friends, however good of friends they are, and they are wonderful, my old friends, nobody talks to him.
No.
Because he doesn't really join in the conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I at the beginning got very upset with that. Yeah. And I almost got upset with my friends because of it. But I understand that now because he doesn't respond. I hope that we can look after him for many years to come. I'm going to say something now which sounds terrible, but he's got this heart condition. I hope that's what he dies of.
Yeah.
Because then it's
done. It's
I
done.
don't want him to forget my name, which could or could. I mean, he's 81.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky to still have him at 81.
Yeah.
I just miss my friend.
Yeah.
I miss the conversations. I miss saying, come, let's go out for dinner tonight. I don't go because we sit there looking at each other. He'll try or I'll try and I'll talk non-stop, which I don't have a problem doing. But I don't get any reaction.
Sure.
Or if I do, it's gone. Like if I say something to him about, I've been telling him recently that I'm doing this work at this retirement village, and I'll say, oh, the apartments are beautiful and I'm doing this and that and the other. And he'll, oh, really? Now, if I go back to him in 5 minutes' time and say, anyway, about this Mayfield, it's gone. Because he can't process the information. It's not a memory thing. It's a weird thing.
What I feel that you're saying is you have to acknowledge the fact that your partner is a former person of themselves.
Correct.
And you have to encourage them as much as you can cope with to get up and do the normal routine things. Absolutely. But then you have to fill your space and your time with other things. And we almost, I guess, and listening to you, I might have to prepare myself one day to do that because we all might. Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm hearing it all the time around me, people that have had illnesses, strokes, whatever, heart attacks at young ages. But let's not go there.
Yeah.
I would say to anybody that's going through a similar thing to myself, don't worry about what's going to happen in the future, right? Don't dwell too much on the past because it will make you sad.
Okay.
Just stick to the present day and try and make the best of what you've got and be grateful that you've still got a man there.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister came over from America. She'd just been visiting me. She lost her husband 2 years ago. And, as you do with sisters, I complain about him. I said, oh, he's still in his towel robe. He hasn't got dressed. She said, but you've still got him there.
He's still here.
She said, whatever he is, she said, I come into my home at night and there's no one there.
I guess it's quite difficult at times with Tony. What I'd really like to understand, do you ever feel lonely?
Not now, because I've adapted my life to deal with what I'm dealing with, but I did at the beginning.
Okay.
The loneliness can be lots of different things. Loneliness is not being on your own. It's just not having support around you. And the only time I really feel it is, like I said to you before, is if I wanted to go out for dinner with him, or I get lonely.
Yeah.
I think I haven't got that person there anymore. But no, I don't feel lonely now because I make sure that I've got things happening in my life all the time.
So did you kind of, when you did feel lonely, did you kind of sit back, take a moment and say, well, I can either sit here and feel sad?
Yeah, I didn't analyze it like that. I went through a bit of a difficult time when I first came back. First of all, I've come back from the sunshine and living on the beach to the climate we have here. But the good part was I came back to my old friends who I've been friendly with since I was young, we were 15 or whatever. And they've been a great support network we all have for each other. So if I'm feeling a bit, I wouldn't call it lonely, but if I feel like I need company, I will make myself pick up a phone. Because that's the other thing now. People don't pick up phones anymore because they message each other. Even my friends, because maybe they just don't feel like talking. But I make them feel like talking.
That's good.
I'll phone them up and say, I haven't heard from you. What's going on? Invariably, there's a problem that they haven't wanted to discuss, or those are the people that need more help than anybody.
Yeah.
But we all are going through something.
Yeah.
There's nobody out there that has got a perfect life.
No.
We have to deal with it in a certain way. But loneliness is the saddest part of getting old.